In a world full of sound, sometimes the loudest voices are the ones that can't be heard. This is the story of a group of children from Manila, Philippines, who proved that music isn't just about sound, it's about the soul. Stay with us till the end, because what they did on the America's Got Talent stage left everyone in tears, and earned them the golden buzzer. Our story begins in the crowded streets of Manila, where the air is thick with the hum of tricycles, street vendors, and life itself. But hidden in a small, quiet room behind an old church, something magical was happening. A group of children, all deaf since birth, were rehearsing, not with instruments, not with their voices, but with their hearts. They called themselves Silent Harmony. Their teacher, a young woman named Maria, had dedicated her life to these children. She wasn't just teaching them rhythm or choreography, she was teaching them how to feel the music through vibrations, through movement, through emotion. Every afternoon, she would place a speaker on the floor so the kids could feel the beat through their feet. They couldn't hear the lyrics, but they understood every emotion behind each note. One of the boys, 10-year-old Arnel, had lost his parents in a typhoon. Music was his only escape. He couldn't hear the wind, the thunder, or the songs people sang, but he could feel them. Maria once told him, "You don't need to hear music to make it. You just need to feel it here," pointing at his heart. Months turned into years of practice, sweat, and tears. But one day, Maria got a call that would change everything. Producers from America's Got Talent were visiting Manila, scouting for unique acts with real emotion. At first, she hesitated. How could a choir with no sound compete on the biggest stage in the world? But her students' faces told her everything. They wanted to try. The day of their AGT audition came. The kids stood backstage, holding hands tightly, their eyes full of fear and hope. Simon Cowell, Sofia Vergara, Heidi Klum, and Howie Mandel watched curiously as the children walked onto the stage, led by Maria, who served as their interpreter. Simon leaned forward, his usual serious face showing confusion. "Hello there," he said. Maria translated using sign language. Then she said softly, "They are a deaf choir from Manila. They can't hear the music, but they can feel it." The audience fell silent. You could hear a pin drop. Then the music began. Soft vibrations of a piano and drums echoed across the floor. The children began to move, their hands flowing through the air, their faces filled with expression. They signed the lyrics of "You Raise Me Up," but it wasn't just signing, it was storytelling. Every gesture was full of emotion. Every movement told a story of pain, hope, and triumph. By the time the first chorus arrived, the entire audience was crying. Heidi covered her mouth, unable to hold back tears. Sophia wiped her eyes. Even Simon looked deeply moved, his usual tough expression replaced with awe. Midway through the performance, something incredible happened. Arnel, the smallest boy in the group, stepped forward. He closed his eyes, placed his hand on the floor, feeling the beat, and began leading the rest with perfect timing. The lights dimmed, and the stage glowed softly. Their synchronized movement, silent yet powerful, spoke louder than any voice ever could. When the final note ended, the children froze in their last pose. The entire theater stood up. A standing ovation. People clapped, cheered, and cried. But the kids couldn't hear it. They only saw the tears, the smiles, the waving hands in the air, the universal sign of applause in sign language. Maria translated what the judges said, and the kids smiled with pure joy, some of them crying. Silently. Then Simon stood up. He looked at them for a long moment. Finally, he said, "You know, I've been doing this show for years. And I've seen singers who can hit every note perfectly, but I've never seen something that touched my heart this deeply. This wasn't just music, this was a miracle." And then, he reached out and slammed the golden buzzer. Golden confetti rained down from above. The children looked up, stunned, not fully understanding what had happened, until Maria explained, "You did it. You won the golden buzzer." And that's when the stage erupted in tears and hugs. The kids hugged each other tightly, feeling the confetti on their faces, their smiles shining brighter than the lights around them. Backstage, as they stood under the golden glow, Arnel signed something to Maria. She translated for the cameras. "He says he can't hear the applause, but he can feel the love." That moment went viral across the world. People called it the performance that spoke without words. Millions watched and shared their story. They were invited to schools, concerts, and interviews, not to perform, but to inspire. Even Simon Cowell tweeted, These children reminded us all what true music is: heart, not sound. The group returned to Manila as heroes. The government helped fund a new school for the deaf, where Maria could teach more children to express themselves through dance and feeling. Arnel became a symbol of hope, appearing on local TV, his shy smile capturing hearts everywhere. When asked how it felt to be famous, he simply signed, "I'm not famous. I'm just happy that the world finally listened." Months later, during the AGT finale, Silent Harmony performed again, this time with a live orchestra and a choir of hearing children who learned sign language just to sing with them. Together, they created a powerful performance that united sound and silence. When the final light faded, the crowd erupted again in emotion. It wasn't just about winning, it was about changing hearts. As the show ended, Simon stood and said, "Sometimes, silence can be the loudest song of all." And indeed, it was. Today, Silent Harmony continues to perform around the world, spreading their message that music lives inside all of us, no matter what we can or cannot hear. Their story isn't just about talent, it's about courage, faith, and the power of feeling. So, if you ever feel like your voice doesn't matter, remember them. Remember that you don't always need sound to make the world listen. Sometimes, all you need is soul.